What's up, friends, and welcome in to Leading Off right here on Fantasy Pros. I am Chris Welsh, that is Joe Orrico, and we are back in the host seat, back in the analyst seat as Rico is out all last week. I was in the football streets, but we are back with you to talk about all the latest and greatest. Thank you guys for hanging out. The technical demons have destroyed Orrico today, but you're still looking good. So we got our leading off hats going. What's up, Orrico?
I missed you guys so much. Yes, Van Rod is correct. New camera, new setup. And because of the new setup, because I'm inept, there might be some technical difficulties today. I promise we'll have it all worked out by Wednesday, but stay back. You know, this is what's going to happen, right? It's never going to go smoothly on your first day back from a week off. It just can't. It's impossible.
I guess not. By the way, what was this narrative that was going on where CC Welsh lives? I heard someone was like, we need to do a check on Welsh. Guys, I'm on everything right now. Like, what are you talking? I know I haven't been here. I'm on everything. So you just got to look around the Fantasy Pro streets. I'll also point out, your boy's a gamer. This is just the schedule. This is what the bosses put out there is why I was not here. Not out of personal choice. I'm not one that would have take a whole month off, taken August off or anything like that. But everybody thought I died, Orrico. Everyone was like, wellness check. I'm here. I'm watching baseball. I'm still locked in. I've just been doing a lot of football episodes too. So and there goes Joe Orrico. All right. Joe's having there you go. Joe's having a rough time. Let's get into the episode. Maybe we'll have Joe. If not, it'll just be we can't use the emoji, but it's like we're just gonna have a new Puppet Joe just at all times. It's always gonna be a Puppet Joe. I can't with this. I can't. This is killing me. Whatever Joe I get, I'm gonna have a Puppet Joe, and there's gonna be technical issues. All right, well, Callie, get the new emoji. We're gonna have a brand new one. It works. Let's get a wellness check on Orrico for any of the podcast listeners. Orrico, by the way, can you guys see this frozen piece? Just looks sweaty and just looks disheveled, and he's completely frozen, and he actually looks like he fell over because everything is going to the side. Please save that. It's my favorite clip of all time. Thank God. I love it. All right. I am very glad to be back with you guys. I want to talk about some baseball, and I want to talk about Joshua Baez. So let's get the graphics up here. Joshua Baez ends up having, I love the blank screen behind me. I wish we could put Joshua Baez below. Maybe in the editors. Can we put Baez just as a co-host with me? Sad that I wasn't here for the Joshua Baez call up. Absolutely hilarious. I've been talking about him all season. You know, hat tip to everybody that's like, oh, I saw these networks. Like, we've been talking about him for months. We've been talking about him since last year. He's up. He finally goes. I put the tweet out that he manipulated that the Cardinals. It was so funny, and Seth will probably love this, how the Cardinals decided on August 14th. That's the day. That's the day that he figured it out. That also happens to be the pure manipulation day where the Cardinals could keep him on the roster. He wouldn't exhaust prospect eligibility from a roster perspective, and then they can manipulate his at-bats. All this to say, he doesn't lose prospect eligibility for next year, and it's PPI. I don't really want to get too negative about that. I'm just being more snarky about it. If I were an organization, I'd do the same thing. Baseball teams used to manipulate prospects in different ways, and then they added the PPI and nothing changed. All that to be said, we all kind of saw it coming between the 14th and the 15th where prospects were going to start to be called up. Joshua Baez makes his debut and is electric. He's so electric, he breaks MLB history by hitting 3 homers in his first 3 at-bats. No player has ever done that in the history of baseball. In our year 2026, 100+ years of this sport, we are still having things that have never happened before. That's what makes baseball magical. And Joshua Baez's power was absolutely unreal. I missed the first 2, and I was able to check in on the third. And I kind of had this moment where I was like, this does seem like a possibility he might be able to do this. And sure enough, he did. Opposite field power. You see the pure, crazy raw power. He goes 3 for 4, 3 homers, 5 RBI, 3 runs. Kind of insanely ridiculous. And I had a lot of questions about Baez before this, that he had to come to terms with this insane power, this insane offensive ability versus like really bad strikeout issues. He had in the minor leagues, it was like 35 or 30, maybe it was like 30% strikeout rate. after these couple, he's got 9 at bats now. He's got his 3 homers. I actually wish we would have pulled the Savant page. It's actually hilarious. Everything is top percentile right now because of his 3 at bats, but it's also pulled completely over here. He has not walked yet. He's 33% strikeout rate. He's whiffing and chasing a little bit, but everything else looks ridiculous. Maybe one of the most important, because most of these you can't read into like a 50% barrel or anything like that. 79.8 bat speed. That's insane. That is at the tippy top of the league. I want to say leaderboard. I think that is like the number one. It's always between Caminero and O'Neill Cruz. But I think it's going to be a bumpy ride. And as I told someone, just like Life is saying, then you had 3 Ks right after. He could be some version of Esmerlin Valdez, where Valdez is, he goes on this streak, he goes on this run, and then everything kind of falls apart. And he's going to have a couple bad days. He's 0 for 20 with a whole bunch of strikeouts. Like that is theoretically what you could be in for with Joshua Baez. So when someone asked me, they're like, is he a must pick up in a 3 outfielder league? And I was like, no, probably not a 3 outfielder league. Bigger leagues, I probably take the opportunity, because the thing I'm most interested in is, what if the league can't figure out how to adjust to him in time? They did with Esmerlin Valdez. But what if they don't quite figure out how to do it? Like, you can see the guy's electric, but he's going to whiff at some off-speed stuff. Let me look at his batting here. Since this is going to be a solo show, it looks like. Oh, by the way, straight up, let's just get a wellness check on Orrico, because everything fell over, and that actually seems scary. Hopefully he's good. But back to Baez. On the pitching side, yeah, it was the off-speed stuff and the breaking stuff, and he's already seeing... This is actually crazy. He actually hit a homer, I didn't realize this, off of 3 different pitch types: fastball, breaking, and off-speed. But he is seeing almost 50% breaking pitches currently. So, like, there is 100% an adjustment that the league has started to make on him, where they're not throwing him fastballs. He's only seen 27% fastballs. He has not whiffed on a fastball yet, but he is on off-speed and breaking pitches. So that's pretty wild. And as you can see, now the Savant page is up. Let me respond to you guys. When you're doing a solo show and I get message, I can't really respond on the tech side. So they're saying they might get Boggs in here. Whatever you guys want to do, it's all good. I'll just keep talking, or my boy Boggs will jump in here. Which there he is. There he is. Hey, look, a camera and a microphone that works. Hi, Boggs. Welcome to the show.
What's going on? I have no idea what you're talking about. I just opened up the sheet. I would just so happen to be in my office watching on Twitch, and I was like, what happened to Joe? And then I saw in the background, I think his computer shut off or something crazy happened. Aliens invaded something.
Yeah, so. I don't know. You see that one senator with the long neck? They got Joe. They got Joe somehow. I don't know how it happened. Just finish it up on Baez. That, I think the ride is going to be crazy. He is getting the 2 stats I think that are interesting with him. He has not whiffed on a fastball, but he is seeing almost 50% breaking pitches early on. And then you had that game where he just went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So 2 polarizing games. He's going to be up today. Interesting fact, it's going to happen by the time this posts on YouTube, I just want to point out, but he's leading off. He's leading off today in the first of 2 games. Well, I mean, because he can't hit a breaking pitch. So, I think today is going to be a really good marker for him. But from fantasy perspective, I think Fab was probably spent through the roof there. So, Joshua Baez, incredibly awesome debut. Any thoughts you want to jump in there, Boggs?
I mean, I just, it was incredible. Watching him hit those 3 bombs was just a really cool moment in baseball history. Right. And I love your tweet before it too, where you're like, weird. They brought him up just in time to where he can't do all the stuff. So Baez is incredible. I will say, do you think everybody overspent on Fab for him? Probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, at least it's late in the year. You couldn't really overspend too much. You've been hoarding your money the whole year, but I bet a lot of people cashed out. Like, this was their last non-$0 bid.
Yeah, Baez. I want to look. I was looking to see if Frankie Stamps posted it. He likes to post the bids. I'm not seeing it, but yeah, he's gonna have gone for everything. And if you're chasing power, that's totally fine. I just think there's a little too much risk in there. But You should have picked him up beforehand. That was what we were doing with the whole prospecting segments. In NFBC, I guess you couldn't until they made their debut. But in other formats, you could have. So hopefully you weren't playing this. And frankly, if you still had the ability to sell, you would have been selling if you could. All right, Tarik Skubal. Tarik Skubal, 6 innings, 7 hits, earned run, a strikeout. No wins. What is this note he says up there? He goes, my last outing was 5. The one before was 6. That's just not acceptable. It's not the standard of what I think I'm capable of in this league. He's actually been great for them, but they cannot pull a win. I think I saw a stat that was since the trade, the Dodgers are like 1-6 or something. I'm not sure if that actually lines up for the days. It feels like that doesn't. And the Tigers had a winning record. But through 3 starts, bottom line, the Dodgers cannot pull a win for Tarik Skubal when he's out there. The bullpen, obviously, like we've talked about, Edwin Diaz has been trash. But I think what Skubal's talking about here is he's not able to go deeper into games. They clearly need him to go deeper into games. It took 109 pitches to get through these 6 innings. Like that's not really. That would be a little bit more of a Skeensy type of thing. Like Skubal's a guy that would go deeper. So I think, he's finding frustration with that, and the Dodgers cannot pull out any wins. So I'm not sure what the application really is there. I mean, though that the Dodgers are messy right now, and I know that makes you and specifically Callie behind the scenes very, very happy.
You hate to see it, right? Man, you hate to see the best pitcher in baseball traded to the team that's in first by a lot of games. Struggle at the beginning of his Dodgers debut here. He'll be fine. I think he's been fine. I don't think this is as big a deal as he makes it out to be. Of course, when you're on a spotlight and you get traded and all that stuff, you want to perform well. He's going to be fine. But, I mean, if the Dodgers want to win right now, you got to go 9. You got to go 9 or Edwin Diaz is going to blow it for you. So you better pitch deep into the game. You got to get a little deeper than this.
Dude, I was dialed into that. What was it, like Saturday? Maybe it was Friday night. But that one where Edwin Diaz he had blown the save and then he came back in, one of the messiest saves of all time. And I was just so dialed in because I did a CBS hit and we were talking about that. And it was just like, dude, he hit a dude, walked a couple, he got saved. Luis Lara hit like a 105 liner. Luis Lara, $160, soaking wet. Hits a one like 105 that Tommy Edman makes an incredible play. Like that's the stuff that they're getting away with. But we're actually going to talk about a Dodger here in a little bit, and let's see if you should even own him anymore. And I think you might know who it is. You can't play him, or he can't be playing at home. Some other pitching performances: the Miz, Jacob Mizorowski, went 6, struck out 6 against the Dodgers. This was on Saturday, but maybe the most important part of that was that he went to 98 pitches. He finally got the pitch count back up. So do you think we're back in the space where Miz is going to get those full innings?
I hope so. I'm just not so sure. And, the first sign of any twinge or anything, and he's out of there. So hopefully we get him deep into games like this and we're, hovering around 100 pitches or whatever for him. But I'm not confident in anything that Miz does through the rest of the year. Probably because I'm a self-hating owner.
I guess I'm pretty confident when he's out there.
When he's out there, he's amazing. But I mean, like, are they going to push a start back, take a start away, all of that stuff? Obviously, when he's out there, he's the best pitcher in baseball. There's not a question. But I do think that there are questions about his usage for the rest of the year, even though he went 98. I hope this is what we get. I hope we get around 100 pitches for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move into the level of confidence. I just want to see what the next one is. Like, how do they follow up a 100 inning? Again, I don't know what this really does for anybody, but 100 pitch 100 pitch outing. Like, I don't know what their application is for anybody here, but Miz and Skubal, they've definitely been kind of in those. And I'll just throw this out here. I'll jump the sheet a little bit, but Paul Skeens, we've talked at length about I think there could be potential injury out there. There's a lot of internet stuff about, maybe it's weight or whatever the hell it is. His start got pushed on Sunday. They pushed it to Wednesday to get him some extra rest. But then they immediately threw out but it's not an injury. And I just want to be like, sure. The most non-injury thing to do is push a guy 3 days, not just 1 day. That's totally not injury. So yeah, I've talked.
Kilo's down, but it's not an injury.
Well, I kind of think there could be, but I've talked about this at length, and I might just be wrong. But the arm angle is up 3 degrees. It was 23-degree angle for 2 straight years. It's up to 26. I think Eno might have started talking about this as well, that maybe it's not an injury-based thing, but there's something in what he's doing where he can't get back to his repeated delivery. Yeah, it's like a mechanical thing. But like, I mean, is it like, I couldn't repeat it. Like, I'm too fat. Like, my arm wouldn't be able to go. Is it like a physical thing like that, or is it an injury? And that's why I keep going back to maybe we're babying something out there, and then you get pushed 3 days. It just feels
lots of hidden injuries, or maybe even something you don't even notice, and then your delivery changes because of it. You know what I mean? So
maybe
hopefully they get him straightened out in these 3 days. I just don't know what's going to change in 3 days, right?
By the way, hat tip to Seth and Callie for getting the overlays completely changed back to
I know
the ITL invasion. And I can confirm, I guess I can't confirm this moment if Joe Orrico's gone off the deep end, but Joe Orrico is alive. Apparently he's able to message in our Slack, but he can't get up onto the show. So I don't know. So if for anybody out there that's worried about a poutine overdose or, an invasion into Canada by aliens, which apparently is in the chat, all of those things are okay. I think Joe Orrico is just him and computers are not working out. Joe Orrico is the youngest 65-year-old person I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, he does like, how do I
think
turn
I might be the
on?
second youngest. I'm not great either, but my stuff is working now, so I'll help Joe out. So.
Yeah, we'll see if Joe gets.
When my stuff breaks next week, he can help me. We'll do it that way.
Poor Orrico. Noah Cameron. This one I wanted to hit. Noah Cameron with a complete awesome. And by the way, I know I dismissed, and I should have done it, but we're kind of moving on. But Logan Henderson was also incredible on Sunday. He deserve. Someone in the chat just said that he absolutely incredible. Big story is that he's helping lift up the Brewers, and I kind of thought he wouldn't continue and be able to roll, and he is, and he's commanding like a boss. But so is Noah Cameron as well. Noah Cameron in this last start, complete game, one hitter with 8 strikeouts. Pulled up his usage. Velo was up on his cutter by a full mile per hour. He's actually throwing it almost 91, which is impressive. Nothing else was like really crazy. If I'm looking at his usage, though, he was, he looked relatively in line, except he was throwing less sliders in this one. I guess he was throwing more cutters and more four seams. He went away from the slider, but he got tons of swings. So I guess he made his slider more efficient. And it was just low hit balls he throws 6 pitches. His sinker, I think, was the lowest usage. Yeah, he only threw it 8% of the time. 87 or lower exit velocity against. So the quality of contact, let's dumb it down, stunk. No one could square up on him. He threw strikes. He threw on the zone. He looked incredible. But what's weird is like the season totals are still just wonky. He's got like a 4.16 ERA on the year. His expected is literally almost the exact same thing. He's just had these moments of brilliance. And I do trust. And since the All-Star break, 2.53 ERA with a 0.77 whip. So he is really locked in since the All-Star break.
Look at the game log. He had this bad stretch from June 24th to July 19th. The first start, I believe, after the break. What was tough, but where he gave up in that stretch 5, 6, he had a 1 earned run in there, but 5 and 7. It's been the opposite since July 24th. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs. 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. He had 5 2/3 and gave up 4 against the Dodgers in LA, and then this complete game shutout at the Angels and a 1 hitter. The dude has been incredible in 4 of his last 5 starts. He has been really locked in and helping people push towards the playoffs.
100%. Sonny Gray tossed 7 scoreless in a Red Sox victory. Continues to be good. Struck out 7. He has improved to 15-3. 15-3 is actually a really, really impressive number for Sonny Gray. I'm sorry, looking at the chat that he got distracted there. But Sonny Gray, fantastic year. The chat's now like when you guys tag us, it comes up on screen. So it's like if I'm in the middle of a thought, you've killed my thought is dead. But Sonny Gray is not. He has been incredible. Continues to get big wins. Closer updates. I wanted to throw these 2 at you. Ben Joyce struck out 2 in a perfect 9th to get his 2nd save on Saturday against the Royals. Topped out at 104.5 and 104.4. Velocity's cool, but saves are better. Ben Joyce, it does look like the save option whenever the Angels are actually getting it. And then I definitely got to take an L because I think I was just wrong on this. I was the huge Luke Weaver dude. I was like, Luke Weaver's going to go in. It could be a top 10 closer, da-da-da. Well, they go and they make this big trade for Luke Weaver, and then they say, you know what we should do? We should not close him. We should put him back in the role he had in New York. And they have put Mason Montgomery in. They said he could be working, quote, in different innings, but they do think Mason Montgomery's done a good job in the ninth. He just pitched in the ninth in a non-save situation. So the question is, which Pirate closer would you want? And would you want Ben Joyce over either one of them?
I think I want Ben Joyce over either one of them. Ben Joyce obviously has closer stuff. We know that. Hopefully he can stay upright with throwing all of this velocity again. Sammy Natera is really good as well. I kind of think that might be a righty-lefty split. So but I think, mainly it's going to go to Joyce. And it might just be hey, look, if Joyce pitches more than 15 pitches in one night, then Natera is going to be the guy the next day, and Joyce is just unavailable. So I think there's some value for Natera as well as both the Pirates guys. But I would say it's Joyce, both Pirates guys, and then Natera is how I would say it.
And I would say it's Kodai Senga over both of them. Someone brought up Kodai Senga.
Yep.
100% agree. Kodai Senga out for the save again. Strikeout with that ghost fork. I don't see a reason where he's not closing out the rest of the year. I think he's going to get it. So I would pick him up overall. And then interesting one, I've been mentioning Justin Martinez expectations. You and I debated this on ITL, I think last week. Justin Martinez looks like he's, I think, coming back. I think they can make a move today or tomorrow. There might be one more in Reno. So he's going to be activated this week. Looked incredible. 101, 102, splitter was great. I think he goes right into the closer role. And I would rather take the Diamondbacks closer than the Angels closer. So I would want Justin Martinez. But it is riskier now because Ben Joyce looks like it is definitive that he's the closer. There isn't a guarantee that Lovullo will do the smart thing, but I would be picking up Justin Martinez immediately.
Yeah, I mean, there is a tiny bit of worry of fireman role for Justin Martinez just because the bullpen's been pretty rough. But I think he's just by far the best closer on the team, and I think Lovullo just puts him back there. After Sewald is gone, and Sewald was like his baby, his trustable guy, I think Martinez is that guy now.
And then just in the news pieces before we get into a deep dive I want to do, I think you guys all saw, but ex-MLB pitcher and famous for the surgery, Tommy John, namesake of as I mentioned, the pioneering surgery, died this weekend at 83 years old. Really trippy, like just kind of learning the history of it. And like, it's also crazy. This is a weird thing I'm going to say, so I'm going to be careful about it. Like, obviously, like Tommy John, like there's a legacy of like him willing to undergo the surgery. But isn't it so weird that the surgery was, I guess, like performed and Dr. Frank Jobe was the guy that did it. And like, we've never heard this guy's name like whatsoever. It's the player because Tommy John's like career was going to be over. He had this kind of like revolutionary surgery. And then all of a sudden, like everything was good. Like he was able to keep going, but like we've never heard the name of Dr. Frank Jobe. So I don't mean to change this from like, obviously it's sad passing the Bionic Man, but I just like in the learning of the process, it was just so interesting to me that because like Dr. James Andrews, he is like, you hear
He's
that
a Tommy
name,
John surgeon, yeah,
and you know what's going to happen. But like the guy that actually did the surgery back then, we've never heard of. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know the doctor's name, but I knew Tommy John was the first.
Like you would have thought Tommy John did the surgery on himself, like with how it was presented. You know what I mean?
Who was it that had the thoracic surgery?
David Thoracic, I believe, was his name.
Yeah, was it David Thoracic?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Thoracic Park.
No. Who had the thoracic outlet syndrome surgery and came back super fast earlier this year?
Well, the Skubal scope was Skubal. He had the
Skubal scope. That's what I'm saying. What doctor did that?
I don't know. But
we're going to call it the Skubal scope. So, Tommy John, 288 career wins. Lots of wins. Almost got into that 300 bucket there. So, career 3.34 ERA, 1.28 whip. Very good pitcher in his time, and obviously pioneered a career-saving surgery for a lot of pitchers that have had to undergo this, most pitchers. So, he will be remembered for a very, very long time.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we're going to go to the deep dive, but I believe we do have an Orrico update. Fellas, can we cut to the Orrico? I believe...
Oh no!
Oh no!
The invasion started in Canada.
Oh no! And Joe is to the side too. How did we get this graphic? Aliens are abducting. There's a moose being brought
He looks
up.
very mad about it.
He does. Well, he looks a little bit annoyed. I do like how in the U.S. aliens take cows, but in Canada they take what's the plural of moose? Mooses? Moosies?
No, just
moose.
moose. I think
a
it's
murder
just
of moose. All right. Well, mooses are being abducted. Trying to see what else I'm saying. Meese. Yes, meese.
Mises.
Yeah, it looks like Canada's in for a rough one, and Orrico is giving it the side eye. It looks like a dachshund. It looks like a dachshund.
BD said, is that Joe or Paul Skeens? Because that is the same exact look Paul Skeens has on his face when he wins an award, when he's happy, when he's sad, when he is ecstatic, when he is depressed. It's always this look. So.
Moose is plural for moose is plural for moose. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Rico looked. This is probably the exact look whether Canada is being invaded by aliens or Joe Rico's mic disconnects and he gets kicked out. This is probably about the disheveled look that he's got of like, well, he looks like Danny Glover. He's like, well, I'm getting too old for this. Yeah. It's like 28 years old, dude. And he's like, I'm getting too old for this. All right. Poor Joe Rico. All right, but I will need a frozen Orrico, and maybe it's just that artwork we put in there. Maybe that's resigned Joe. Maybe we can have that be an emoji. So let's work on that at some point.
Anytime you upset him from now on, it's going to be this.
100%. Actually, well, in 1 second I want to do that, but I want to remind you guys, manage your fantasy lineups, dominate your leagues. My playbook from FantasyPros. Doesn't matter if it is August 17th and the playoffs are right around the corner. My playbook and its powerful tools are going to help make you make the better decisions, manage your lineups, and win your leagues. Even to today, you can import your lineups and you can get all the great stuff from customized fantasy baseball news, rankings, and analysis. And you know what? Maybe it's more important than it's ever been with the playoffs around the corner. So sync those leagues, fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook, or do it on the Fantasy Pros app. And the off season, you want to continue to make sure you got these locked in. So make sure you are with Fantasy Pros. The curious case of Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker this weekend, I believe, was sat at home by Dave Roberts because Dave Roberts acknowledged that he has got a little bit of a home issue. Kyle Tucker is struggling. This tweet from Codify says, since the pitcher's mound was lowered in 1969, the only MLB player to have an 85-game home span with the following: a 182 batting average, a 288 OBP, and a 266 slug, with at least 338 plate appearances. Very cherry-picked. The point is, Kyle Tucker. No one since 1969 has had a worse home span in a year of 85 games at home than Kyle Tucker. Nobody. This is the worst. Kyle Tucker is in straight up stinkland. He was sat because the manager doesn't believe in him being able to hit at home. Right now, as we speak, he's hitting 189 at home. I mean, these are absurd numbers. He has 2 homers, 3 stolen bases, 46 strikeouts in that period of time. He cannot hit for average. He hit 244 in the first half. He is now hitting 188 combined in the second half. And on the year, it's 232 with 11 homers and 7 stolen bases. So the question that I only not ask you, Boggs, but I want to ask the chat: do you roster Kyle Tucker for the rest of this season?
I mean, I probably I would try to bench him first, but
incorrect answer. The answer is no, you do not.
I have no issue with dumping Kyle Tucker. He has been awful this year. I thought this was a match made in heaven at the beginning of the season. You know, I thought, okay, you go to LA, you're in the middle of the best lineup in baseball. You're going to be hitting in front of Mookie and Shohei, or behind Mookie and Shohei, and in front of Freddie and Muncy, and Will Smith. You're going to be great. And he has been miserable. And, you know, there's in Home Alone, there's a scene where Kevin is really mad because Uncle Frank won't let him watch a movie. And his mom goes, look, if Uncle Frank says no, it must be pretty bad. Okay. I feel like that's Dave Roberts taking anyone out of the lineup, taking Edwin Diaz out of the closer's role. Look, if Dave Roberts says no, It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is really, really awful for Kyle Tucker right now. He's got to go.
What's a redeeming factor where you're like, I would probably bench him at this point? Because like I get the name value being a Dodger and stuff,
It's
but
just
is there
being in the
something
lineup
else?
and knowing that when he gets hot, he's still one of the best hitters in baseball. He just hasn't done that this year. That's why I said, look, I'm trying to bench him instead of drop him, and really dropping him. It's not even that I'm upset that he's not on my team. It's that I'm mad if I dump him and he goes off in the playoffs or at the end of the year if you're in a roto for another team. That is the aggravation. That's it. It's not that I want to keep him. It's that I don't want anyone else picking up a guy that was taken in the first or second round in every draft. So, yeah, that is the one redeeming quality. Is it's not having him on my team. It's not giving him to somebody else.
This player is over the last month is hitting 336 with 5 homers and a 387 OBP in 100 at bats. 5 homers, 336 over the last month, or Kyle Tucker.
Oh, give me the other guy.
Ty France, 27% on FantasyPros. This guy hitting 282, 3 homers, 4 stolen bases, 20 runs over the last month. This guy or
give me that
Kyle
guy.
Tucker.
I mean, give me all of these. It's going to be give me that.
I'll do one more. Well, hold on. That's Jake McCarthy, by the way. This is a fun one.
Jake McCarthy is easy over Kyle Tucker.
So check this out. This guy is under, I'm going to give you the percent. He's under 10% owned. In the last month, he's hitting 330 with 4 homers, 3 stolen bases, 16 runs, 13 RBI, 419 OBP. He's 9% owned across Yahoo and ESPN. That guy or Kyle Tucker?
That guy.
Luis Rengifo. That's why Kyle Tucker doesn't need to be owned when guys like Luis Rengifo, Ty France are out there and they are better. The redeeming factor of holding doesn't make any sense anymore. Maybe he'll have a historic run, but I mean, are you even in playoff viability if you've been sitting on him? So Kyle Tucker, his frustrations are so rampant. He joked running out about giving a glove to Shohei Ohtani. I don't think the manager has confidence. He doesn't lack confidence. And these are some things that have kind of floated around him from time to time. Like, I don't think he's built for this stuff. I don't think he's built to pick himself up. So Kyle Tucker, I'm giving up on. Sounds like you're pretty much in the same vein. And when the aliens stop, we'll see if Orrico is with us. So you guys let us know as well. I think, do we have any results? Because you ran a poll. Or not you, but the figurative you. But Seth ran a poll in the back end. I'm just curious, do we have any results on where people are at? If maybe nobody wanted
Is it
to,
Kyle Tucker versus Luis Rengifo?
maybe Kyle Tucker's with Orrico right
Kyle
now.
Tucker versus everybody else.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
Maybe. Fun fact. What was my fun fact that I had? Oh, this was actually shared, I think, by Bubba and Orrico. This is supposed to be very pro Dylan Cease. The most consecutive seasons with 200 plus strikeouts. This is from Sarah Langs. Tom Seaver has the most with 9, 1968 through 1976. Max Scherzer had 8 seasons of 200 plus strikeouts, 2012 through 2019. Chris Sale had 7, kind of modern era. Roger Clemens, Walter Johnson. But sitting in with 6 straight years now of 200 plus strikeouts is Dylan Cease from 2021 to 2026 as he passed 200 strikeouts. Yeah, here's the tweet. And then you can see the rest of the list. There's some pretty damn good names on there. Clayton Kershaw, Felix Hernandez, Randy Johnson. I mean, it's a who's list. And then Dylan Cease is just floating in there with big, massive strikeout numbers across the board.
I was going to say, this is a list of mainly Hall of Famers. And then Dylan Cease is in here. So. Yeah. What's his take a crack at his career ERA? Dylan Cease. 2.42 this year was 4.55.
Yeah, I think it's probably more like 3.82.
3.71. So very close.
Oh, I almost said 3.7. Okay.
Yeah, and whip 1.24. So not, I mean, good. Hall of Fame worthy? Absolutely not. So 72 wins in his career, but he's piling the strikeouts out.
He is.
The guy gets them. We know that.
Well, and he did this weekend, 3 up and 3 down. Dylan Cease, 6 1/3, struck out 10 and allowed just 2 runs against the Yankees. He's in a dogfight. I haven't actually looked at the odds, but I got to imagine it's just him and Schlittler. I don't know if he's past Schlittler for the Cy Young, but he's got to be up there. Logan Henderson, as mentioned before, 7 1/3, 1 run against the Dodgers. He looked awesome, just bing, bang, bang, right on the corners. And it's very funny because I interacted with him and had a sit down conversation with him a couple years ago when he rehabbed at the Dodgers facility going against the White Sox. And he was just in his rehab process. And I'd never seen a guy like pinpoint accuracy like he did. And the guys couldn't even get any bat on ball. Like, he's just been awesome. Love seeing it, and it's continuing. And then Jake Bauers, 4 for 4 with a walk, 1 run, and 2 RBI on the downs. Connor Prelip allowed 8 runs in 5 innings. Joey Ortiz, Golden Sombrero, and Edward Cabrera allowed
welcome back
7
Edward.
earned runs and walked 3 batters. And I believe Blister God, he had a little bit of a blister issue.
This is why we don't start guys on their first start off the IL for the most part, like
Yeah.
non-top tier,
non-awesome guys. Exactly.
Yeah.
In the injury streets, Justin Robleski was placed on the 15-day IL with forearm inflammation.
How will they ever replace him?
Bad. Well, I've been wanting to kind of make the case that with the bullpen being so bad, one solution would be Roki Sasaki, who has closer history. Another really far out one, and I think I mentioned this to you, but like maybe you have Ohtani do it. I know we've all joked about it, but it's like, if Ohtani's going to be out just throwing little side sessions through the rest of the year and stuff, why not just put him in the back end of the bullpen when you can't win a damn game right now? Like, go and
him.
Yeah, whatever you got to do. So I really think they should consider that. Now with Robleski out, that kind of, I know Glasnow's coming back, but that's going to keep Sasaki in the rotation unless Ohtani comes back. I just wonder if one of those two could be considered into the bullpen. But this gives more stable ground for Roki Sasaki with Robleski out. And forearm inflammation, it's pretty bad. Usually pretty bad. Right?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, hopefully it's either TJ or it's a couple months typically. So
yeah,
it sucks.
Red Sox put Masataka Yoshida on the IL with a hamstring strain. That's not good. What is Roman Anthony is going to begin a rehab assignment tomorrow and Tuesday with AA Portland. So just, I mean, the only person that's been more mysteriously gone than Joe Rico is Roman Anthony for this year. Haven't heard a peep on what the hell he's been doing, but he's coming back. Cubs manager
got him early.
Yeah. Cubs manager Craig Counsell had said that David Peterson is going to be moved into the bullpen with Edward Cabrera rejoining the rotation on Sunday. Let's see if there's any readjustments to that. On also Cubs news, Daniel Palencia fanned 3 of 4 batters he faced in AAA Iowa on Sunday. So he could be back this week, and that's a closer that's going to jump back in. So make sure, and he's not available sitting out there. Blake Batura told reporters on Sunday that James Wood has been slow in his progress for recovery. Absolute nightmare for my second half team that we do in our home league. I had Aaron Judge and James Wood, and both of them cannot pick up a bat. They can't open a bag of chips.
I think it would have been the first time I almost 0-10 you in our home league there. I got you 1-9.
Oh, yeah, I can't hold. I
all
lost.
Your guys are hurt. They're
Vladimir
all hurt.
Guerrero just got hurt. I lost Griffin Jacks. I've had Judge. I got James Wood, and then I just put one of my relief pit. I'm just an epic disaster, and it has not worked out, and that really sucks. A's placed Tyler Soderstrom on the 10-day IL retroactive to the 15th with a left hip impingement. Speaking of Tyler Glasnow, he's going to make another rehab assignment or start after throwing 3 2/3, which was hitless in AAA on Friday. So that would probably be Wednesday, maybe. So that might line him up to a Sunday or Monday next week to be in the Dodgers.
How will they
rotation.
ever replace Robleski?
Yeah, but Robleski was still the 5th starter. It was Sasaki or Robleski when Glasnow came back because there's no Ohtani. So you've got Skubal, Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow, and then it was Robleski or Sasaki. So they're
losing a pitcher is never good, but this team can afford it. So they'll be fine.
I mean that's how they built their team, 100%. Tyler Glasnow, when he's back, you put him immediately out there or wait?
I'll wait one start, just like we saw with Edward Cabrera. So give me one start to see what he does, and then throw him back out there.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. So how does this is my Shohei thing. How does he warm up if he's got an upcoming at bat though? They take him out of the DH spot. Like that's pretty simple. Like he's not in the field, so you don't have to worry about that when the Dodgers are fielding. Like you can just make the team is also just full of studs. Someone else goes into the DH spot and he goes into a relief pitching spot, and that would be it. I mean, that's if you're dealing with like a lineup situation where he's got to warm up and a bat is coming. Like I understand that, but I think if you're going to put him in at closer, you're taking him out because they're leading and you're maybe not necessarily worried for big runs, but it's a fair point. I said this on CBS, dude, where I said, I don't think this is going to be popular. I think most people are going to hate on this idea. And I kind of don't, like, I'm not against hating on it. I'm just throwing out, my big thing was, who the hell is Dave Roberts sitting there being like so frustrated, like, oh, what do you guys want me to do? You know, they're asking him, like, what are you going to do in the bullpen? He's like, what do you want me to do?
Manage better.
I don't know. Better. You've got the biggest group of most talented players in the world, and you're just screaming and crying about you don't know what to do. How about you do Sasaki, who is a closer? How about Ohtani, who can play two ways, but he can't start games right now? You have all the options in the world. So, like, for him to be sitting there with all that frustration, to me, was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, why are you pretending you don't have all these options in the world? And I think that is one you could consider if Edwin Diaz continues to just be a stink fest and you don't trust Tanner Scott. It's like, yeah, I don't want to put the lower leverage guys. Well, then put Roki Sasaki in.
I mean, then figure it out. You have enough pitchers. Do something different. It can't keep going the same way. It's been miserable. You have to change it. You change Kyle Tucker. Change the closer role.
Oh my God. Is a manager being asked to do something on his job except just sit there? Like, are we get creative? Like, you can do this. I believe in you, Dave Roberts. You've got this. You've got a lot of talented players. So that was where that was all coming from. But yeah, Tyler Glasnow, he's going to come in. He'll round out the rotation. Maybe that does make it less likely that they can move a Sasaki, but like, you'll be fine. And hopefully not. You're not, by the way. All non-Dodger fans, hopefully, and hope you're not going to be fine. Trevor Story opened up his rehab assignment with AAA on Sunday. He went 1 for 2. That could line him up to be coming back pretty soon. And then Brian Wu experienced some shoulder soreness before coming out of Sunday night's game against the Astros, which is really bad news. But Kade Anderson, I will continue that. I am actually shocked. The only thing I'm truly shocked about is that Kade Anderson has not been called up since manipulation is gone. If you want to live in a world of what does this kid need to do, what more does he need to prove? Should he have been at the levels he's at? He has nothing more to prove in the minor leagues. And you're already past manipulation time.
Does he have to throw a no-hitter to upstage Joshua Baez?
Oh, I don't
does a no-hitter does that even upstage Joshua
That's
Baez?
Probably it. That's probably the only thing you could do is like a no-hitter. Yeah, that's a good point. I was about to say like a 7-inning, like 12 strikeouts still wouldn't be more impressive.
Something. 15 would be one more than Strasburg's debut. So
I feel like I feel like we're 24 hours away. I'm gonna just throw this out here. 24 hours away from Kade Anderson being called up. I just don't see any. I can't understand why they're playing this game. They've talked about him helping with the team. They're kind of trying to resurge again. Like Kade Anderson should be up. Go pick him up. Don't try to fight anybody else for him.
He's got to be Steve Nebraska. Yeah, that's what he has to be from your favorite movie, The Scout.
Yeah, from the Scout. All right, let's go take a look at the home run board. God, I have no idea what's going on there. Home run board, only one in the 50s. It's High Cubby. High Cubby has an 8 home run lead. 8 home runs with like a little less than 6 weeks to go for that Juan Soto autographed jersey. Lee Goldman is right there. We got JS Fan and B Trot. They're kind of closing in. They're within 10 homers, but it is quite the race here. I am nowhere to be found. Even tougher when I'm on less of the shows. On the home run board, this will be interesting because Orrico's not here. So, Boggs, you're welcome to throw out a name, but I'm going to throw out mine, and I'll even say Orrico since it should be, I'm imagining, on the graph. Or I don't know if we have the graphics.
It's on the sheet.
We don't do that. Yeah, it's on the sheet, but I'm going with Corbin Carroll. I'm going to be a total homer today. Corbin Carroll's going to be my home run call. Orrico had Brian Reynolds, which I don't hate. You want to co-sign Orrico, or you want to throw another name out there?
I'll just co-sign with Orrico. I did not do my research. Or, you know what? I did my research, and I decided Brian Reynolds is great. What a great pick by Orrico.
Better thing you can do, except it's all freaking Reds today, is go and check out the home run model over on BettingPros. You can go check it out. It is bettingpros.com/homers, I believe is the quick link where you've got home run probabilities, data-driven stuff, data-driven data, if you will, from matchup to stadiums, weather conditions. You can check out all the picks that are there every day, and it's cool because it'll show you not just the data, but you can have the leans, you can have the probabilities, and it'll tell you the best books where you can get your home run odds. Go and check it out. At the top of it currently, as we're recording, it's full of some Reds because there's an early game. So if you want to get on top of it, go and check it out, sign up, and you can check out the rest of the board for picking out some more home runs. So highly suggest that. Let's go check out our best bets of the day. This one does have a graphic, and this had an Orrico call here. So, Boggs, I'm going to let you pretend. You pretend you're Orrico. Yes. Why do you like Junior Caminero here to have over 1.5 hit, run, and RBI?
Yeah, Junior Caminero's had a pretty good run here. Obviously, a bunch of hits in his last couple games. Brandon Young, they're at home. So there we go. That's all you get from me.
Whew, that was good. I like it. I'm going to go with the St. Louis Cardinals. This is for Seth. Seth's going to love this. St. Louis Cardinals run line minus 1.5. It is plus money today. Cardinals been on a thing. I do pick on my on those Reds a little bit, but I just like Palante. Palante has been sick. 12-6 record, 3.46 ERA, going up against Rhett Lauder. He's had a moment or two, but he's gotten beat around. He's got an over 5 ERA. I did toy with the first 5 on this. The first 5, it's juiced up for money line. If you want the Cardinals to be up by a run, you can get a little bit plus money, but I just figured let's go full game here. I think the offense has been sick. By the way, this is game 2. If I did not preface that, there's an early game. This is game 2 on the Cardinals and Reds.
Jeez, what are you trying to do, a Bogman here? Come on.
Just making sure everybody understands it.
Yeah.
But backing Palante, backing the offense, and kind of moving away from the Reds. I think Rhett Lauder has a chance to get beat around a little bit. And Palante, good ground ball. It's a hitter-friendly environment, so I think that works well. So Palante is mine. Cardinals run line minus 1.5 on the runs, plus 130 for my best bet of the day. All right, friends, we got through it despite the technical stuff and Orrico ditching us, but we got some new memes. We got some new Orrico, frozen Orrico. Yeah, there you go. Orrico's just looking at us.
Joe Skeens right there, watching his countrymen get abducted.
Absolutely disheveled. Poor Joe. Poor mooses. The mooses kidding. Hopefully they're going to be okay. All right, that is going to do it. I am not on for the rest of this week, so don't go screaming about. You can scream that you want more of me, but if you're wondering where I am on a check, you can find me over on the fantasy football side. But back again, I'm finishing out. I'm here Mondays, so make sure you're locked in. I don't remember the schedule. I want to say it's Orrico and Bubba on Wednesday, so make sure you guys are dialed in there. That is it, Boggs. Thanks for pinch hitting.
Yeah, I guess somebody said I came in for the save. I like that. So I just happened to be in my office. I'm like, I'm going to go see what Joe and Welsh are doing on leading off today.
Yeah. So, welcome to the show.
Here we go.
Sean Newcomb, multi-inning save. So you did it. Perfect stuff. Hat tip to Callie and Seth for dealing with all that stuff, coming up with the great artwork and just being rock star producers as they are. And hat tip to you guys for hanging out. Love you guys. We're out. Have a good one. Fantasy Pros MLB. It's leading off. Till next time. Peace.
Like Seth said, I had the piggyback start. Orrico was the opener.
Oh, yeah. He was. It was like an opener. He's on for like 30 seconds. It's a great point. You came in about 5-6 innings. You got the win. Good job. Great job.
I'll take it.
All right. Better than Edwin Diaz.